Hello and welcome to the Baker's Blueprint. This is a complete guide to selling your baked goods on Valentine's Day. My name's Allison and I'm going to be helping you get the most out of this training today and sharing a little bit from my experience of over 15 years of selling my baked goods during the Valentine's Day season. I hope you're excited. We're going to dive right in and learn everything there is to know about selling baked goods on Valentine's Day so that you can prepare yourself to have your best season ever. So Valentine's Day has become this really commercial holiday. In fact, in 2023, spending reached over $26 billion, billion with a B, spent on Valentine's Day. People are buying for their romantic partners, for their friends, for their kids, for their pets, and teachers, everyone. So Valentine's Day is a very commercial holiday, and sweets and baked goods fit perfectly into the ideal product to sell right now. So if you're a baker who is excited about either launching your bakery or growing your bakery this Valentine's Day season, then you have got the right idea, because some of that $26 billion deserves to be yours. And I'm excited to help you learn exactly how to go about doing that. So in today's training, we're going to talk about 4 different aspects to help you get ready for this Valentine's Day season. We're going to learn how to plan and organize your thoughts so that you feel ready. We're going to help you decide what to sell based on years of experience and feedback from other bakers. I'm going to go over the basics of promoting your business and promoting your baked goods for sale. And then I'm going to give you tips for the actual sales strategy itself. So before we dive in, let's just review that this training is recorded. You can rewatch it at any time. So if you're somebody who likes to listen all the way through first and then go back in and take notes, by all means, you have access to watch this recording over and over again. Also, the pictures that you see, the slides here that I'm flipping through as I'm talking, those are yours to review as well. So if there's a particular section where you feel like you just didn't get down your notes fast enough, you can review just the slide deck as well. And I'm going to review a few other downloadable resources that are here for you as well. So however you like to learn, if you want to watch once and take notes, or pause and take notes as you go, just know that all of the resources are here for you so that you can watch again and just get as much out of this training as you can. So we're going to jump right in with planning your Valentine's Day event. And I've been through enough Valentine's Day to know that if you're anything like me, you get really excited about the possibility of all the different things that you can sell. There's ideas on Pinterest. There's other bakers in Facebook groups sharing what's worked for them. There's things that are just so adorable and cute that you think that you'd love to make them. And it's fun, but it can also get overwhelming. So in this section, I'm going to give you some suggestions and strategies to help you organize yourself so that you don't feel overwhelmed and you feel empowered to move forward with your Valentine's Day promotion. So included in this Baker's Blueprint, you have a few different downloadable resources. Number 1, you have an Excel spreadsheet. So if you like spreadsheets and you're a computer person and you like to have things buttoned down and organized, then that Excel spreadsheet might be for you. It's got a place for you to organize your dates, have a menu overview, have links and shortcuts to all of the different resources that you share, like your website or your order form. It's got a master to-do list, a social media post organizer, and a digital order tracker. So if you want to get organized on your computer, then the Excel spreadsheet might be for you. But I know that some people are not at their computers all the time, or they would rather have a tangible, printable piece of paper to take notes on or tuck into their planner. So, for that reason, I've created a printable version of almost all of those resources inside the spreadsheet where you can still have the benefit of feeling super organized, but have a printout of those items. So, check out the downloads in the PDF that you got when you ordered this training, and you'll see printable order forms, a printable order tracker, lists of what to sell, as well as a bake day work list. So all of those resources are there for you. As I'm going through this training, I'll reference a few of those, and just know that after the training, you can go and download any of those if you haven't already. Now let's jump in to a few of those items and take a closer look at how they can be helpful to you. So let's start with the Excel spreadsheet. I call it the campaign overview, and it's a sort of a good place to keep everything all together. And I have learned to love spreadsheets. I didn't love spreadsheets when I was getting started in my bakery, but now that I'm at my computer a little bit more, I absolutely love them. And so if you are a spreadsheet person, this campaign overview is a great place for you to think through all the dates of your event and get them all in one place. Now, if you're using the paper printable version, then I still have this available, and it's just going to have you write those dates in your paper planner. So whichever works best to help you feel organized, it's going to ask you about the different dates of your sale and help you think through all of the details. It also has a place for you to write down the menu items that you've decided to sell and the selling price, as well as where you're going to be promoting that, which I'll teach you about in today's training. So that is sort of like the high end, the high level details. Next, there's a to-do list. And as we're going through today's training, you're going to be feeling like there's a lot of things that you need to do. And this to-do list helps you feel a little bit more organized as you track which ones you've completed and which you still have left to do. An order scheduler is something that has been a lifesaver for me. And an order scheduler is a place for you to organize all of the different orders that you've taken for your baked goods that will be coming up in the weeks and days before Valentine's Day. So this is a place where you can write your customer's name, you can write their contact information. If you're using an order form, you can give them an order number or an invoice number, and then you can log which day their order is for, and then whether it's going to be a pickup or delivery. And once you start to use this, you're going to love this method, and it helps you to feel much more organized. So there is a digital version or a paper version for you to use just to help you feel like you are on the ball with Valentine's Day. And then we've got a promotional calendar. And this really talks about, like I mentioned before, all of the different dates. When are you going to be doing your pre-order cutoffs? When are you going to start promoting on social media? It's just going to have you think through your plans ahead of time. I've also included some promotional ideas for you to think about if you're looking for ways to show up online and start talking about your baking. And we will go into more about social media in the training today, but just know that if you're drawing a blank on how you're going to show up on social media, that there is a list of ideas for you for how to talk about your baking online. And remember, you can download the printable version as well. And in that printable bundle, you're going to find the printable order form, the printable tracker, as well as a really helpful list of different things that you can sell, not only during Valentine's Day, but throughout the year. I've included a Valentine's Day special version of what to sell as well. And that can be really helpful. You'll see when we start to talk about deciding on your menu. If you need to round out your menu with a few items, then be sure and check out the list of what to sell Valentine's Day edition. And then I've also included my favorite bake day work list. This is a piece printable paper that you can use to make your work list when you're in the kitchen. It divides your tasks into things that you need to prep in advance, non-kitchen things such as printing labels and folding boxes, and just helps you to be more thorough and more organized with your work days. So those are some of the resources that can help you plan your Valentine's Day. Now let's dive into deciding what to put on your menu. And this is one that draws a lot of comments in the Facebook groups and a lot of discussion. And actually, I think it's one of the most fun parts of Valentine's Day because it just feels like there's so many great options. But I want to share with you some things that can help you to have a more successful Valentine's Day. And it starts with what you put on your menu. So let's talk about what you plan to sell. Of course, as I mentioned when we first started the training, Valentine's Day isn't just a romantic holiday. People are buying for their friends, their kids' teachers, their neighbors, and their romantic partners. So it's a good idea to look at your menu and offer items that are going to fit the needs of all of the different buying scenarios for Valentine's Day. So of course, we always think romance, and it is important to have romantic items on your menu. And by romantic items, I mean things that are sized for two. So small cakes for two, sampler platters, Valentine's charcuterie, things that are going to be a really fun way for a couple to celebrate together. That's one that would check that romantic box. But then remember that the same person who is buying maybe a romantic gift also has other people that they might want to buy for. So I'll use myself as an example. I would absolutely buy a Valentine's snack box for two to have with my husband in the evening, maybe after dinner, put on a fun movie, a romantic comedy, light a few candles, and have this fun treat box where we can sample a little bit of a bunch of different flavored treats. I think that sounds like so much fun, and sampling boxes where there's just enough for a few bites each and some chocolate are always a big hit. But I, as a buyer, might also buy some treats for my kids. My kids are teenagers. I still want to give them a little love note in the morning before they run out the door. So a heart-shaped cookie with a nice little tag on it, and something that's just about love and, hearts and a little bit of sweets would go perfectly for a little treat that my kids can eat on the way to school or tuck in their backpacks. Now, I also would buy for my neighbors. I live on a street where we have several elderly people, and I would love to leave a little heart-shaped cookie on their doorstep and just let them know that I'm thinking about them. A few of them haven't been doing well lately, and I think it'd just be so nice to be able to drop off a little sweet in a box that looked Valentine's theme, and it was just the right amount. So if I were to order from your bakery, I might order all of those things from you. I would absolutely buy the romantic box for myself and my husband. I would buy a few treats for my kids. I'd get a couple of those heart-shaped cookies for my neighbors. And if you tempted me with a few other things, I might buy those too. So think about what your customer is going to be like and who your customer might be shopping for, and put together a menu that reflects all of their needs. Now, the one thing that I didn't mention, of course, chocolate is synonymous with Valentine's Day. Strawberry pairs perfectly with that. So if you're looking for ways to complete an arrangement or a box, try to represent chocolate, strawberry, heart-shaped designs, and think about boxes, bundles, and baskets. So if you have a cupcake recipe that you love, for example, say you have a wonderful red velvet cupcake with a pecan crunch on top, and you really are trying to figure out what can I do with that cupcake for Valentine's Day, consider making it part of a box, a bundle, or a basket so that you can increase your selling price. Instead of selling one cupcake, you have that cupcake, but it's part of a set. So boxes, bundles, and baskets go a long way on Valentine's Day. So the next advice that I have when you're thinking about your menu is to test everything ahead of time. Don't experiment the week of Valentine's Day and work out those kinks while you're in the process of filling orders, because that's going to place a really big amount of stress on you while you're baking. So think about the pans that you're going to bake your recipes in, the packaging that it's going to go in after it's baked, and any specialty ingredients that you might use to make that item. Because as you get closer to Valentine's Day, those ingredients may become harder to find, and that's going to add another level of stress for you to go to multiple stores or be waiting on orders to arrive so that you can create the rest of your menu. So test everything, think it through from start to finish, and if you choose to put it on your menu, secure those ingredients ahead of time. You want to make Valentine's Day manageable for you and not a stressful event. Next, let's talk about how you can streamline your work and your workflow so that you can have the most successful bake day. So streamlining means thinking about that workflow from start to finish and making sure that there are no bottlenecks in the process that are going to slow you down. One thing that can cause a bottleneck in the process is by having too many different items on your menu. If you have recipes that are different, products that are different, things that need icing, things that need to cool, things that need to rise, things that have some finesse, a lettuce top pie, or things that are very difficult, then you're going to feel like your attention is pulled all over your kitchen, and you're going to be able to make, or you're not going to be able to make as much volume. You're not going to be able to fill as many orders when you're having to be pulled all over the kitchen. So focus on volume over variety, especially for Valentine's Day. So as I mentioned in this what to sell category, I would try to find something that fit each one of those categories, romantic and kid-friendly and heart-shaped, and then keep it simple with 3 to 4 items on your menu. Make sure that those are items that you can create in volume and limit that variety for Valentine's Day. It also helps to have items that you can make ahead of time that have a long shelf life. So they can be made a week to 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, package them up, put them out of your way, and you don't even need to think about it. All you need to know is how many you have available and keep track of them so that when you've taken all of the orders that you can fill with them, when they're gone, they're gone. Long shelf life items can really take the pressure off of you in the kitchen. An example of a long shelf life item would be French meringue. So I recently did a tutorial on how to make French meringues, and in that lesson, I showed how to pipe a meringue on a cake pop stick, and it looks like a flower bouquet. Now, I pre-made all of those meringues on a stick. I wrapped them in a cellophane bag and then wrapped them in tissue so it looks like a bouquet of flowers, but they're simply just a sugar meringue. And the shelf life on those meringues is easily over a month, if not 2 months. So imagine how that would help you manage your workflow if you were able to pre-make a dozen, 2 dozen, however many you think you can sell of a pre-made long shelf life item, pack it up and forget about it until the week of Valentine's Day when you start to fill orders. So think about ways that you could streamline your operation, and remember that those long shelf life items are included in that great big list of what to sell Valentine's edition. So if you're still looking for some ideas, be sure and check out that download. Now that you are going to be narrowing down the list of items that you're thinking of selling, it's time to think about photographing your items. So, the first thing that you want to do is decide on how you're going to package that item. And presentation is everything during Valentine's Day. So make it giftable. Use add ons to your regular bakery packaging like tulle ribbon, tags, bows, and anything that make your final product extra special. Then you want to take your smartphone and use it to get great photographs of your items. Now, you don't have to have a fancy digital camera to do this. You just need to take some time and put some intention into it to get good photos. So, a few tips to help you use your phone to get better photos are to use the rear camera of your phone. So, don't put your phone in selfie mode, use the rear facing camera because that is a higher quality camera to take your pictures. It also helps if you are not holding your phone in your hands. So, you can prop your phone using a jar or a can of vegetables, anything that's got just enough weight to it to hold your phone, or an actual tripod, and use the timer feature so that your hands are not even on the phone while you're taking your pictures. This helps you to get a more steady shot and a much more clear and defined focus. You can also play with the settings on your phone and adjust your depth of field so that you're focused on an item in the front of the image and then the back has a nice blur to it. But you don't need to do that to get a good quality picture. Remember to take both vertical pictures when your phone is like this and then horizontal pictures while your phone is like this to help you decide which photo fits best in your social media posts once you're doing your layouts. And another tip is to remember to take overhead photos as a flat lay where you're holding your phone directly above your baked goods. Using different angles can really help you to have a variety to choose from once it's time to put together your promotions. And then finally, a couple more tips for taking better pictures is to use natural light. In my house, I know that my kitchen has great light around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So find a spot in your house that has really good natural light. It's often by a window and it could be with a sheer blind closed so you don't have a lot of shadows. But look around your house for a spot that you can photograph there and what time of day that is. You can use white poster board to create a neutral background and add some simple props. Simple props might be a few of the baking ingredients that you used in that recipe, or a little bit of color pop from a tea towel, a Valentine's decoration, or a utensil. Keep it simple and focus on your product for sale rather than the props. The props are there as a background, and make sure that your background is free of distraction. So we don't see a sink or a stove or any of your basic kitchen display items. You just want to be focusing on your baked goods for sale. Now, I hope those photography tips are going to be helpful for you to take good photos of your baked goods so that you can promote yourself on social media, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. Now, my final tip for you when we're looking at planning and just choosing what it is that you're going to sell is a couple of thoughts about profitability. Now, we're not going to go into pricing in detail here, but I do want to address the common comment that I hear, which is that people in your area are just not going to pay the kind of prices that other bakers are charging for their baked goods. And it can be discouraging when you feel like that. You you feel like, why bother? People won't pay those prices, even if my work is just as good as other bakers online. So here are a few tips to help you manage that situation and still end up making a profit. So let's start by talking about putting less items in your containers. So if you're doing a box, a treat box, put less items in the box. It does not have to be over full. It doesn't have to be brimming to the top with baked goods. You can use some filler in your box and a few decorations, but your baked goods do not have to be an excessive amount in that box. If you're doing cookies, consider selling 9 cookies instead of a dozen cookies. The impact will still be the same, but you will save a good percentage by cutting down the amount of product in each box. If you sell 4 packs of cinnamon rolls or if you sell 6 packs rather of cinnamon rolls or cupcakes, biscuits, or whatever items you sell, muffins or scones, consider going down to a 4 pack instead. So these are ways that you can downsize the item and charge the same price so that you make a little bit more profit and you're not having to deal with those price hike situations that can be so awkward to navigate. Now, another profitability tip for you is to think about smaller sizes in general. So downsize your cookies. If you often sell a 3 or a 4 ounce cookie, consider going down by a half to a full ounce. Most of the time, customers don't even notice, and this is going to allow you to not raise your prices and still make a good profit on that item. You can think about using smaller loaf pans if you're selling breads, either quick breads or yeast breads. There are several different full-size loaf pans out there. There are 5 by 7 and 5 by 9 and 4.5 by 7.5. And all of them look like a full-size loaf. So consider, when you're shopping for your supplies, consider the packaging size so that you can go slightly smaller and still charge the full price. This is going to allow you to make more products at the same cost to you, but give you more items to sell. If you're thinking about doing a cake this Valentine's Day and you love the idea of a 6-inch cake, think about downsizing to a mini snack size cake. There are so many cute and trendy packaging. There's so much cute and trendy packaging available that you can get the oblong snack cakes, heart-shaped 3 or 5 ounce tins, which is going to cut down the amount of batter and the decorating time versus selling a full size 6 or 8 inch cake. And then think about profit first. So you're looking for ways to make more and get more bang for your buck here. So think about being able to upsell. Remember, I talked about, as a buyer, I would buy the romantic snack box for 2. If I called to place my order with you and I ordered that, if you were to say, do you need any heart-shaped Valentine cookie grams? I would probably say, yes, I do. How about throw a couple of those on the order? So have a way to upsell something on your menu. You might not make every upsell, but you will make some of them, and that makes a difference. Also, choose your menu items wisely. There are some items that are just so fussy that they create waste, or they are just not as easy to produce, and it's going to cut into your profits. I'll give you an example of this one because I recently had a baker reach out to me and ask me how to make a cute little heart-shaped chocolate chip cookie drizzled with some chocolate and sprinkled with a little bit of Valentine's confetti sprinkles. And as we were talking it through, her choices were going to be to buy a heart-shaped pan and then bake them in the pan. Remember the workflow conversation, that would be one pan cycling through all your orders, or a big investment in multiple pans, or baking your chocolate chip cookies on a cookie sheet and then cutting out those shapes and then losing all of that product that is left over after you've cut out your heart shape. Now, that would be a really cute Valentine's gift to make at home just for fun. It's a great idea and an adorable cookie, but not a good idea for something to sell. So choose wisely and think profit first. And remember that your presentation offers a value to your customers. So the more that you can add on to your menu items with some additional extra over the top Valentine's presentation is going to give a sense of value to your products. Now, let's talk about how you can promote yourself during Valentine's Day, because all of the work that you put into choosing the perfect products is not going to go very far if you don't have customers who can see these items and decide whether they want to buy them. So, planning to put some energy into how you want to promote yourself is a really important aspect of having a successful Valentine's Day. So let's dive into a couple of tips and strategies for promoting yourself for Valentine's Day. So first, you want to allow time for social media. Social media takes time, just like planning your menu does, shopping for ingredients, and working in the kitchen. So put some time on your calendar to work on your social media. You need to plan to show up regularly. So as opposed to just doing one post with your menu that says, here's what I have for Valentine's Day, show up more than that. So talk about one item on your menu, showcase that snack box, showcase that heart Valentine's cookie, showcase the chocolate cake, and really break down the menu, talk about it a lot, and show up regularly. If you're worried that you feel like you're repeating yourself or that you're annoying your followers or you're just being too out there, try to forget about those thoughts, because social media is, we don't always see everything everyone posts. Sometimes people see it, sometimes they don't. It's completely okay to repeat yourself and show up regularly. Remember, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And when you show up regularly, it helps somebody to get to know you. It also helps them to trust you. So if I see your post in my feed over and over again with you saying funny things, silly things, cute, engaging comments and posts, then I'm really going to want to support you more than somebody who just posts once about their menu. So please don't be afraid to show up regularly. And ask your friends and your family to share your posts. So if you're planning on posting your menu, call a couple of your friends and say, hey, this post is going to go up tonight at 8 o'clock. Could you do me a favor and comment on it and share it for me? I would really appreciate it. And just let them know that that is one way that they can help support you in your business. Now, another way to show up online is to engage your readers, your followers. And so a few ideas for an engagement post are in the box here. And these are to do a this or that post where you post 2 different items on your menu and ask your readers to decide which one they would want to try. To offer a contest, and you can choose the rules for your contest, whether it's to share your post and have their name entered in a drawing to win one of your items, or to tag a friend. Think about what's going to give you the biggest impact and do an engagement post. You can do a guess what I'm baking post where you're taking a picture of some ingredients in your kitchen and you're just posting that picture online, and then you're circling back and talking to everyone who engages with that post. If somebody says, that looks like a Nutella brownie, you want to come in right away and say, oh, that's a great guess and that does sound delicious. And really let them know that commenting on your posts is fun and that you're there to respond to them. You can post videos from behind the scenes. You can take 30, 60-second videos of you packaging your baked goods or going on deliveries and getting this content while you're doing your work. So you really don't have to do anything extra. Just remember to take out your phone and take video. Remember, if you're going to be sharing it on Instagram or Facebook, hold your phone in the vertical position and not in the horizontal position. Nothing's worse than going to upload your video and realizing that it doesn't fit in the format that you need it to. Remember that you can share your post to your stories and go live to reach even more followers. So speaking of reaching even more followers, let's talk about how you can expand your reach when you don't have very many Facebook followers on your business page or your personal page. So that's okay. That's not a reason not to sell for Valentine's Day. You can absolutely reach more people by just using a few of these tips here. So your goal is to reach as many customers as possible. You can decide when it's time to set limits on how much you can bake. But to begin with, you want your posts getting as much reach as you possibly can. And if you don't have this large following, then you can join community groups to reach more people. Just remember to review the rules inside those community groups so you're not violating any rules they have about selling or linking in their group. Now, if you haven't joined any local Facebook groups yet, then this is your wake-up call to join the local groups. Many bakers report that these local groups are what took their baking business from a sleepy, occasional sales business to a regular, thriving business. So go onto Facebook into the Groups tab and search groups based on your geographic area and then specific interests. So you can type in the name of your town plus buy, sell, and trade, your town plus local foodie groups, your town plus mom groups, and ask to join these groups. Once you're in, like I said, review those rules and make sure that you can post in those groups. Another tip for expanding your reach is asking your friends for shares, like we mentioned before when you're promoting yourself. Let your friends know that that really helps them out when you share your post, when they share your post. All right, now I want to talk to you about an idea called using influencers. And influencers are people on social media who have a large following and who post frequently. It doesn't mean they're people who are sponsored by collaborators or affiliate programs. It just means people that have influence over others. And looking for influencers in your area can help you expand your reach as well. So what you can do is look for influencers online by searching Instagram using your local hashtags. So go onto Instagram and look under hashtag the name of your city and start to find people who have a large following and who post frequently, either in reels, in stories, or in actual feed posts. Then you can reach out to them with a direct message and let them know that you're looking to give away some of your items in exchange for a post or a tag or a mention. Another way to get your foot in the door without that awkward first step is to look for reasons to celebrate with them. So what I mean by that is as you're scrolling through Instagram and looking for local people who have active accounts with a large following, look for items that look for reasons that they might celebrate. It's my birthday. I just bought a new house. My baby turned 1. I just reached 1,000 followers. Look for things like that. And then jump into their DMs and let them know you're a local baker. You're looking to, gift them some cupcakes as a way of helping them celebrate. And you would love a post, a tag, or a mention with your bakery name. Now, when you do that, all you really need to do is reach one or two influencers and get them to follow along and use your products or show your products in one of their posts, and that can make the difference for your business name getting out there. But you need to follow up with every comment that they get. So jump in their comments. If you see somebody says, oh my gosh, that cupcake looks amazing, jump in there and say, thank you so much. I'm Allison at Baldwin Baking Company, and here's the link to my menu to order those for Valentine's Day. So you need to be active on social media to use influencers, but it is a great way to expand your reach. All right, now we get to talk about the best ways to get your products sold for Valentine's Day. And if you have all of these ideas and you're feeling excited, but you're still not sure how you're going to actually make the sale, then this section is going to help you to think about a few different possibilities for bringing in some orders. First of all, the most traditional way is to host a pre-order sale. This is when you're going to go on social media, talk about your products, let people know when they need to order by. Once you get those orders, you're going to use one of those resources that I shared with you and log your orders and set some limits based on how much you can produce. Once you've either reached your cutoff date or your limits, then you're going to close your pre-orders for that item. You're going to go and bake your items, and then you're going to get those delivered or scheduled for pickups. One thing that I want you to make sure that you understand is Valentine's Day is typically a very last minute holiday. So we as bakers think about Valentine's Day starting at the beginning of January, but consumers usually don't start thinking about Valentine's Day till the week of Valentine's Day. Many of them are just thinking about it the day before, and a lot of them are thinking about it the day of Valentine's Day. So push your cutoff date as back as far as possible to allow those last minute people to pre-order from you. And if you haven't met your sales goal by your cutoff date, then consider following up with a flash sale. And I'll tell you a little bit more about a flash sale here in a second. But what you're going to do is while you're baking for your pre-orders, bake more. So if you're already baking those treat boxes, make a few more. And then we'll use flash sales to help you get those sold. The next way that you can sell your baked goods for Valentine's Day is by signing up to be a vendor at an event, a market, or a pop-up. It's where you are selling in person and talking to the customers while your baked goods are there in front of them. So a few tips for having a successful event are to ask a lot of questions before committing to the event. So events are very different depending on who is organizing them. So you want to know, have they done this event before? What was the attendance like? Is it an indoor event or an outdoor event? How is it promoted? How many other vendors are there? How many other bakers are there? Is there a non-compete between bakers? Are they asking the bakers what they're selling? There's no right or wrong answers here. These are just going to help you to understand what you can expect to sell at the event. In general, I think bakers can sell to about 15% of the overall attendance. But you also need to take into account how many other bakers are there. So now while you're at this in-person event, think about using a QR code on your labels to follow up so that your customers can follow up with you. This is especially helpful if your event is before Valentine's Day and you're still selling on Valentine's Day, maybe with a flash sale. If your customers can follow you on social media easily by scanning a QR code at your event or on your labels, then you may get a repeat purchase from them because maybe they loved what they bought from you and they want to order more. So use a QR code or another method for your followers to join your social media accounts. And remember, presentation is everything. Valentine's is a super visual holiday, so make sure that you are representing all of the love, all of the pink, all of the red, and whatever other aesthetic style you're going with at your events. Now, my tip for you here is to have a plan with what to do with any leftover products from your events. So maybe you are scheduling another event back to back, and some of your items can carry over. Maybe you're bringing out your shelf stable items, and those will hold over. Or perhaps you're thinking about how you can do a flash sale after your event to continue to get those items sold. So let's go over some of the basics for hosting a flash sale. Now, what a flash sale is a sale where you are selling pre-baked items. Your viewers just need to comment that they're interested and contact you and make the payment, and then the item is theirs. There's no pre-order or any waiting time involved. Now, to successfully host a flash sale, you want to be sure that you have high quality photos for your products and a good product description. This is going to include how many people it serves, what the flavors are, what the price is, and talking about the experience. So imagine that snack box that we talked about. If my product description said, this is a box of Valentine's treats. It contains 2 pretzels, 1 chocolate snack cake, 4 chocolate dipped strawberries, and chocolate peppermint bark. That's okay. I know what's in it. But if it said, imagine how much your sweetheart will love sitting down and sampling a little bit of everything with this box that contains chocolate cake, dipped pretzels, delectable strawberry treats, and the sampler situation. If you can describe the situation that you're going to enjoy it in, or your buyers are going to enjoy it in, then it is going to go so much farther than just a vanilla description of what's in the box. So think about how your products might get used, and then tell your readers how they're going to enjoy it. Then you're going to share those pictures and descriptions on social media. You want to post frequently about your flash sale. Tease it by letting them know a flash sale is coming, and then follow up with your flash sale announcements. Share those posts. Share those posts onto your social media and ask for shares from your friends. Now, when it comes time to doing your pickups and deliveries, remember that you can group your orders together to make things just a little bit easier on you. So if you have multiple items to deliver, try to get all your delivery in one day, or you can choose a local pickup spot, like the parking lot of a local Starbucks, and make it a little bit easier on yourself. And remember to update your posts as items are getting sold to tease your followers into having a sense of urgency to contact you and place an order. Now, that concludes our training for this Valentine's Day guide, and I hope that you feel that you are a little bit more prepared than when you first joined. There's so many resources here in this training to help you that I know you're going to feel very confident and organized once you get to downloading those and printing them off and putting your head into organizing your thoughts on this. I would love to hear from you and stay connected with you on social media so that I can support you and your Valentine's sale. So feel free to tag me at Better Baker Club in your social media posts. Thank you so much for joining me today in this Valentine's Day training, and happy baking, friends.